Hey, good afternoon. Bo Davenport here with Evolution Auto Detail, and today we're going to do some real-world detailing. If you can look back here, you can see rain's coming down pretty good, but we've got this 2024 Honda Accord in here today to get some work done, and so we'll go get wet, figuratively, car and me. So today we're going to go through some things, show you how to do a 5-year ceramic coating. Something new for us right here. I've never played with the graphene ceramic coating, the 5-year. We've used the 3 years by McKees. We've used Pro Coat 2.0, the 10-year. Today we're going to try out the 5-year on this brand new Accord. So we're going to go through the process we're going to use today. We're going to strip wash it to take everything off that the factory or the dealership may have put on there, because if I'm looking, it's beating water a little bit, but we don't know really what's going on. So we're going to do McKees 37 coating prep auto wash to start with that process. Um, then we'll go come back and take our clay mitt, our fine grade McKees 37 clay mitt. Whoop, turn it, there we go. Upside down, try it again. Clay mitt, we're going to use that. Make sure we got a nice clean surface. Because it is brand new, we're going to take our polisher and we're going to use a 5.5-inch white Lake Country pad with a finishing polish just to up our gloss, make sure everything is nice and smooth, because there's not a ton of defects on it. With the weather, you can't really see it, but the car is in pretty good shape. On the wheels and tires, we're going to go quickly on the wheels, the spray and rinse wheel cleaner from Poor Boys. Obviously, we're going to do an iron remover on the paint as well. So old school bottle, the McKees 37 Extreme Iron Remover. So our process is going to look like this. I'll get out there. I'll get wet. We'll see in a minute. But we're going to do the wheels and tires. Then the good thing about this weather is when I put the iron remover on, I don't have to worry about it drying and messing up. So we'll do the iron remover, spray it down, let it sit 3-4 minutes, do its thing. Try to catch that between rain showers if we can. Then we'll do our strip wash, do our clay mitt. We'll be using N914 mixed up as a rinseless wash and our IK sprayer as our lubricant. Rinse it off really well, bring it back into the garage here, dry it off, and then we'll get to polishing. So I'll see y'all when we're ready for the polishing stage with this weather going on out here. Hey, we're back, and you can see nice and wet now. So the car has been washed, iron deconned, cleaned the wheels and tires. We're getting ready to do the clay mitt. Shout out to the Kitty Hawk Ocean Rescue for the hat to try to keep the microphone here kind of dry. And so we'll do this real quick. We'll talk about this clay mitt for a minute. So we're going to use the McKees 37 fine grade clay mitt. It's got, get in kind of close here, it's got that rubberized back to it. That allows it to shave off any contaminants that are left on the paint. So thing I like about this is it does the job of a clay bar. There's still some times where I feel like a clay bar would be a good choice. But if I drop it, then who hasn't? If I drop it, you just rinse it off with the hose and you keep going. A clay bar, it's got to go in the trash. So show you the process. Got our IK sprayer mixed up with some rinseless wash in it. That's what we'll use as our lubrication. Got it pumped up. I like to give just a little spray on the mitt, and we just let it glide over. Like we're washing the car again. Let the clay do its job. It doesn't require a lot of pressure. I like to keep it in fairly vertical, back and forth motion. It's not a circle on here. Get in everywhere. I can hear it when it hits. That's another thing I like about the clay mitts versus the clay bar. When it hits some good contamination, you can actually hear the change in the sound that it makes, and gives you an idea. We'll do the glass as well. And this being a brand new car, there's really not a ton of contamination on this one. That's not to say brand new cars aren't contaminated, because you don't know how long it sat on a lot outside in a holding area before it even went to the car dealership, before you bought it. You don't know. But this one's in pretty good shape, and it's just always a good idea anytime you're dealing with the coating and you're going to coat a car. Let's get that paint surface as clean as we can. Let's use a strong soap on it. Let's clay it, and then let's do a light polish. You'll hear some people tell you that a brand new car, wash it, coat it. I don't know about that, because you don't know. I mean, I guess you could go look up the build date and find out exactly when it arrived everywhere, but in most cases you're not going to have that information, and I don't want to have any issues down the road with this coating. So we'll just keep right on going. The other thing I like about this is, in my mind, because of the surface area, it's so much bigger. I mean, again, step off camera for just a second. Let's talk surface area for a second. I've got the McKees 37 universal detailing clay right here. Even though after I knead my clay bar up and flatten it out some, the difference in surface area, I could cover a lot more ground with this. So I like the clay mitts. I keep the clay bars here, but I like the clay mitts. I think I think both have their spot. So the other thing so nice about this, because the car is not heavily contaminated, and my clay mitts just gliding over it, you know, I'm more than halfway done, and it took 4 minutes and 42 seconds. We're over halfway done with the car. So we're going to finish this. Throwing water at y'all. We're going to finish this step right here, and then we'll get back to you. All right, guys, here we go. So we're back. We got the Accord here in the garage. We're getting ready to get in the process of paint prep. So we'll talk about that process for just a minute. But going back to our final product, I'm going to be using this McKees 37 5-year graphene coating. That's what we'll be putting on it. But to get it ready for that, let's talk about our process so far. We have iron deconned the car. We have strip washed it. We've cleaned the wheels and tires, and we've used the McKees 37 fine grade clay mitt over the whole car. Now we're getting ready to come back, and because it is a new car, I just want to make sure all my bases are covered, I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Very, very, very few, if any, swirls in this car as we went through it with our swirl finder light. So we're going to hit it with McKees 37 complete finishing polish on a white pad, kind of a light polishing pad, just to gloss it up, make sure we're getting everything in there. And if there's any way something made it through the iron decon, the strip wash, and the clay mitt process, that we get that off. And then we're going to use our 365 edgeless towels to take off polish. Let's talk about that polish for a minute. It is raining outside, so that means it is extremely humid in here and out there. So what is that going to do? That means our polish is going to behave a little differently. It's not going to dry out as fast, which is nice. But because of the humidity, it's not going to wipe off quite as easy either, because it's going to be thicker and more moist and wet. So what that means is we got to pay very careful attention when we come back and we do our prep to the paint, our coating prep spray, to get all the oils and all the finishes off the paint. We got to pay extra careful attention to that step to make sure we got everything off, because if there's some oils left over from the polishing stage, it can interfere with the adhesion of our coating, and we don't want that. The customer brought it here to get the 5-year coating because they wanted it to be protected. So we're going to get started. We're going to use our polisher, our G9 8mm orbit polisher, that's going to again, gloss up the paint, and then we'll get back to the next step when we get ready. So we'll show you how we do that on the hood in just a second. All right, guys, Bo Davenport back with Evolution Auto Detail. We're here in the garage. We're going to finish up this 2024 Honda Accord, and today we're going to use a new coating to me. Not a new coating, but a new one for me. I've never used a 5-year graphene coating. We've used the 10 years McKees 2.0 Pro Coat. Used that. We've used the 3-year extensively. So today we're going to use the 5-year coating, and we'll give a little show on how easy it is to use. We're going to be using our applicator. Microfiber coating saver has a sponge inside that's wrapped in plastic and then has the microfiber cover on it so the coating doesn't soak all the way into the sponge. And then our Rag Company Pearl Towel to level it out. All right, so bottle comes with a nice little dropper top. We're going to prime our pad. I like to do 3 lines across it for that first one. Then after that, just 3 or 4 drops per panel. All right, let's get you in here so you can see it. All right, so we're gonna be doing it. You can see right here on the, got our pad on. We're gonna do right here the center hood section. I've already prepped it. So come down about a 2 foot, 2 foot, like polishing. Fill the section in. I like to use a body line for reference. Up and down, left, right. And then we're going to watch it for just a second and we'll get the rainbow effect. It'll start to flash over. We'll remove it, level it out. I always like to flip it. Go over it one more time. And now we'll move on to our next section. Grab my bottle. Just 4 drops this time. Keeping that center line of the hood again and using this body line as my reference. Up and down, left and right. And if we overlap a little bit, definitely not the end of the world. So I like to use my towel twice, so each side twice. So we'll go back to our leveling side now that it's flashed over. Level it out, flip it, take off any excess. And just like that, this center section of the hood right here is done. And we'll do this other side. 4 drops. And now we're using our body line as a reference. Do the rest of this hood. Make sure we cover good coverage. And we use the same towel in the same area one more time. Got it flashed. Level it out. Remove any excess. And in 4 minutes and 7 seconds, we just coated half this hood. We'll see you back when we're finished. All right. All right. So to wrap up on this 2024 Honda Accord, we're outside. I got a cloudy day, but still got some good sun to make sure we had no high spots or anything in it this morning before the owner comes picks it up. So what do we think about the McKees 37 5-year graphene coating? Top of the line like the rest of the coatings. I think it goes on as easy and comes off as easy as the Pro Coat 2.0, the 7 to 10 year coating. Matter of fact, once my 3-year bottle is gone, I won't offer 3 years anymore. It goes on a little easier and comes off a little easier than the 3-year coating. It might be all in my head, but feels that way. So we'll go to 5 years or 10 years, 7 to 10 years. I love the 4-ounce bottle, plenty to do. You know, the bottle was full and still has, it's barely to the label. So we'll be able to get 3 or 4 cars out of this bottle easy. We have some more coming in the next few weeks. Great investment on my part. Gloss is phenomenal. We know what the longevity is going to look like. I think we'll have an extremely happy client. And this client has been with me since day one. She's always used Hydro Blue Pro is what we usually put on her car. And she wanted to step up. She bought her new car and wanted to step up her protection game. And so we got the 5-year coating on it. So out of 10, I'd give it a 10. Speaking of 10, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10. Tentacles. That's what it takes. Guys, y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time. Hit like and subscribe for me.